What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back to the Get It Right Saturday Night podcast. I'm here. My name is Con Frizz. I'm here with my co-host, Oscar Morale.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Mark ditched us today. He's at the Nuggets game. They're taking on the Miami Heat. So, definitely having a lot of fun. Maybe we'll hear back from him, see how it went. But I'm not really sure how many episodes in the near future we're going to have with Mark. He's very, very busy this semester. So it might just be us two for the next couple weeks, but hopefully we'll get him back soon. And we're just going to jump right into it. So, first off, we're going to start with the World Series. Now, the World Series ended about a week ago, but this is our first episode after it finished. So, uh, first things first, obviously the Dodgers won. The Dodgers beat the Blue Jays in 7 games. It was a very thrilling series. I really enjoyed it. I watched almost every game.
Me
So,
too.
it was a lot of fun. And who did you pick? Did you pick
I did pick the Blue
the
Jays.
the Blue Jays? Yeah, a lot of it when we had the 50th episode with everyone on here, like 3 out of the 5 of us picked the Blue Jays, and I was surprised. But I picked the Dodgers, so the good team, the better team, I think won. But the Blue Jays put up a really great fight. They have a lot of good players. If you weren't familiar with the team, like myself, I was not familiar. I was not familiar with their game. Uh, they played very, very well. So Oscar, what did you think about the series?
It was an all-timer, man. I mean, it was probably the most thrilling World Series I've seen, at least in the last 5 years. I mean, trying to remember back to when I was like really little, like
I
the
think,
ones I would see with my dad. I think
yeah,
the Cubs one in 2016 was cool because like the Cubs hadn't won in like 50
yeah,
years.
no,
Um,
way more than that. But yeah, long time. I think
uh,
2017 was also fun.
yeah.
Astros Dodgers, that was a good one.
Yeah, I was gonna say Astros Dodgers was really good, and then all the historical context that ended up having.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, those Astros teams were really fun to watch too. You're right.
yeah,
Nah, I mean
but
this is definitely the one I've enjoyed the most in a long time, in a long time.
yeah, definitely. I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast or how many times I mentioned it, but if y'all know me, I'm a big fan of Miguel Rojas. All right, Marlins legend. All right, that's my boy. And that guy, holy clutch. I told Mark, I was like, the Dodgers are going to win. Why? Because they got Miguel Rojas playing. Game 6, they inserted him, and he had that nice pick to force Game 7 on the double play there from Kike Hernandez. And then Game 7, the Blue Jays were winning all the way. The Dodgers couldn't buy a hit like almost the whole series. And who ties the game in the top of the ninth inning? Guess who?
Miguel
Miguel
Rojas.
Rojas. That's my boy. That's my boy. Miguel Rojas. Shout out Miguel Rojas. And then he gets to play in the bottom of the ninth home to get the force runner out. That would have won the Blue Jays the game. Great defensive play by him. And he's just a dog. And he's the reason why the Dodgers won the World Series. If they did not have him, they wouldn't have won. Shohei sucks. Yamamoto sucks. No, I'm just playing. But Miguel Rojas, man, that's my boy. And his level has just gone up for me. He was my favorite player. Now he's definitely my favorite player. I just wanted to give a big shout out to him because that's my boy right there. I was going crazy when he hit that home run. It was very exhilarating. But yeah,
Yeah, as
and
a Marlins fan, it was cool to see him
yeah,
do good.
definitely.
That's for sure. Because I mean, he wasn't gonna do anything with us. That's for
That's
sure.
true. That is true. That is true. But shout out to Miguel Ross. What a G. All right, cool. So that was a little recap on the World Series. Not talking too much about it because, like I said, it already happened a while ago. Trust me, I've spoken with my friends about it enough. But now going into college football. The other day, the first college football playoff rankings from the committee were released. And so we're just going to go over that a little bit. So first, I'm going to show the bracket. So if the season ended today, this would be the playoff bracket. And then Oscar, just for you, if you want to see the whole top 25 from the committee, I can switch to that. But just starting off here, what are your
No, we
thoughts?
can go over the bracket for now.
Okay,
It's fine.
yeah. So okay, so I guess just a little overview. Teams 1 through 4 were pretty much set. I think everyone would have seen those 4 coming. They were the top 4 in the AP poll as well. And then after that, it gets a little bit interesting. They bumped Oregon all the way down to 9. I thought that was a little bit surprising. Georgia taking the top spot after the 4th seed. Memphis, even though they're not even ranked in the top 25, get that automatic bid at the 12th spot because they're the group of 5 team. And then I guess they're predicting Virginia to win the ACC, or at least they're the highest ranked ACC team at the moment. So that's why they are there at 11. They also have an automatic bid. And then the Big 12 showing out. They have BYU in there, Texas Tech, and I think they have another team just outside the top 12 there that also is doing well. I think I have it here. Yeah, Utah's at number 13. So the Big 12 is showing out pretty well. And then Notre Dame, I think, is a little bit controversial for some people, perhaps. They're in there at number 10. They're not in a conference, obviously, so they need a lot of help to get into the playoff, but the committee helps them a lot. So there's the help. Oscar, I'll give you the floor. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think Notre Dame being ranked 10, I don't have really any issues with it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, but not really. I think they definitely deserve to be in the hunt for the playoffs, if not have a playoff spot for now. I kind of want to talk about the Big 12. They have three like seeds essentially, or 3 teams in the hunt for possible spots. And the ACC looking like the weakest conference right now. I think because the committee members were like banking on the fact Miami was going to be better and not have 2 losses by this point in the season. That really kind of just dug the ACC in a hole in terms of you know who they're going to send out to the playoffs. Which, interestingly enough, Virginia being the leader as the only undefeated team in the conference. Actually, wait, there might be 2 undefeated teams in conference. If I'm,
I
if
can
I'm not
check.
mistaken, it's Virginia.
Is it Louisville, or did Louisville? No, it's
No,
not Louisville.
Louisville has 1 loss. But either way, Virginia also has a loss to ACC team, and that's NC State. Um, but it was a non-conference game, whatever that means. Um,
No, sorry. Virginia is the only undefeated team in the ACC.
all right, yeah. Well, I'll get to that point later when I address Miami's shortcomings. But yes, Virginia is the only undefeated team in the ACC. They do have 1 loss to NC State. It was not a conference game, so it doesn't count against them in the conference standings, even though NC State is in the ACC. Um, but that's a topic for another day. I really like the top 4 seeds here. You have Ohio State at 1, Indiana at 2, um, Texas A&M at 3, and Alabama at 4 are super fair in my opinion. Texas A&M, the only undefeated team in the SEC, I believe, behind Bama. But like truly undefeated, I think it's just them at 8-0.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And then I really like BYU. BYU is probably my front runner for the Big 12 right now. I don't know how strong those Big 12 teams are. I'm a little impressed at there being 3 of them, or in the hunt, 2 of them making it. Texas Tech, I think, was kind of that team everybody thought was going to be the automatic bid for the longest time until they had a loss 2 weeks ago. And and I think Memphis for now is the G5 rep until we figure out who's going to be the conference, American Conference winner. Or is it
Yeah.
Conference USA or American Conference? I believe it's American.
The American.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
whoever comes out of the American is probably going to be your G5 rep. Georgia at 5, don't really have a problem with that. Although they do play Texas this weekend, and that could be very interesting. Um,
Georgia. You talking about Georgia?
mm-hmm.
No, Georgia plays Mississippi State this weekend.
Oh, when do they play Texas? Is it next weekend?
Georgia plays Texas. Yes, it's the following weekend.
Okay, yeah. So that game is a marquee matchup that you want to look at. because it'll let you know more or less who will get that third seed probably. Which I can't believe after how Texas started the season that we're speaking of them possibly making the playoffs.
Well, you think that Texas A&M's not going to win the SEC?
I do.
Oh, okay, because you said third seed.
Georgia. Between Georgia and Texas.
Texas or Texas A&M?
Texas.
But Texas A&M has the third seed. I'm just misunderstanding what you're saying.
Like the third spot out of the SEC to get to the playoffs.
Okay, the third SEC team.
Yes, exactly.
Got it. Okay,
That's
yeah.
going to be that marquee matchup. That's kind of going to be that indicator to let you know who's going to get that third spot, which I think Georgia has the hands on for now, solidly, with their only loss being to Bama, and Texas somehow still in the mix,
Yeah.
but they're here. And then you look at the rest of the teams on the looking out are Texas and Oklahoma. Oklahoma lost to Texas. I think it was also 2 weeks ago. And it's a good first standings. Notre Dame, you said, was a little bit controversial. I don't mind them being at 10. You could make the argument for them being lower, and it's valid in my opinion. I think they are projecting a bit what these teams are going to be, and
Yeah,
not
you think so?
not necessarily what these teams are ranked right now.
Interesting. Yeah, because it's not supposed to be like that. Yeah,
Just a little
that's
bit, but
interesting.
for now, I really don't have a problem with these rankings. At least the top 12, top 13.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just the only one that's a little like interesting to me is Oregon. I feel like they should be ranked higher. In the AP poll, I believe they
They are,
are.
in the AP poll,
Yeah.
they are ranked higher.
I want to see how much. In the AP poll, they're six, so they bumped the back 3 spots behind Ole Miss, BYU, and let me see. Sorry. Yeah. And Texas Tech.
I agree.
So
Oregon should probably be at that 6th spot instead of Ole Miss.
yeah. I mean, yes. I'm not gonna argue with you on that. Maybe you can argue that Ole Miss could be above Oregon. I wouldn't mind that either. But behind BYU and Texas Tech, I just think that's a little low. I think maybe the committee is not really valuing their Penn State win as much just because Penn State sucks, which is possible. And Oregon, their only other good game that they played was against Indiana and they lost. So they don't really have a crazy win on their schedule. They play Iowa though coming up, which is going to be a huge game. Is that this weekend? Yeah, it's this weekend. They play Iowa, and the committee ranked Iowa, I think 20, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they
So
did.
that's going to be a big that's
Let's
going to be
take
a
a
big
look at
game.
those rankings, actually, Colin. If you
Yeah,
can
here we
pull
go.
it up. There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
So this is what the committee put. It's pretty different than the AP, honestly. They got Pittsburgh in there at
I like the
24.
committee's rankings actually better than the AP poll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's true. They got Pitt in there, who's not in the AP pool. They got a really good freshman quarterback who's playing absurd,
Yeah.
also flying
No.
under the radar. Yeah. So Missouri playing Texas A&M this week. BYU Texas Tech is going to be a huge game. Number 8 versus number 7. And then Oregon and Iowa, I think is going to be a very important game, and that could determine in part possibly the Big Ten championship matchup. It'll probably be Indiana in there, barring anything crazy. And then the second team, you never know. It could. Oh, sorry, there's also Ohio State. But yeah. Well, if Michigan beats Ohio State like for the 4th time in a row, that could shake things up. So we'll see. We'll see. Could be interesting. Um.
So
So yeah, I
so
think that's
let's
yeah.
talk about it. The elephant in the room. Miami,
Yeah.
number
Yes, go
18.
ahead.
The ACC. The weirdest conference by far this year in college football. I would go so far as to say usually that honor goes to the Big 12, and it's pretty handedly always the Big 12. But the Big 12 this year, I mean, they're very top heavy. You got BYU, Texas Tech, and everyone else following them. I mean, Utah made a strong case at the beginning of the year, but then they played Texas Tech and they lost, and then they've kind of been second fiddle ever since. And then Texas Tech shot themselves in the foot by losing that one game. But they'll still probably make the conference championship, and then they have they can be champions and then settle that debate. So, you have a clear 1-2 in the Big 12. The ACC, Virginia's your runaway favorite for now, undefeated. But do you really trust Virginia?
Well, I don't trust any of them, to be honest.
Exactly. That's
But
exactly
then
what I
again,
was.
like we said this last year as well, it doesn't really matter. They're basically just projecting who they think the ACC winner is going to be, because it's very unlikely that any ACC team is going to be in the top 12 of the actual rankings. So they just think
Which,
Virginia is their highest ranked team, but even here you can see that they're ranked 14. So if it was
exactly.
just a straight 1 through 12, they wouldn't even get in. So they just put them
Exactly.
there because they're the highest ranked ACC team. Do I think Virginia's going to be the highest ranked ACC team by the end of the year? No. I'm sure they're going to lose a couple games, but you got to put them there for now.
There you go. And that's exactly what I was going to say. I think Virginia, Louisville, and Georgia Tech all have another loss in them. I really do, just because of the way the ACC has been going this year. And honestly, I could see Miami losing another game or two. So if they don't lock in, because we end the year at Pitt. Pitt's ranked, clearly. Syracuse is not as good as they were last year, and they're a homecoming game this week. So I think we'll win that one. But NC State has upset a lot of teams, including Virginia. So they're also a pretty good team. Yeah, and then we go up to Virginia Tech. That's an away game, and they play as good every year, or every time we play them. I don't think we play them every year. So yeah, Miami's got to lock in. If they even want a chance, okay, destiny's not in their own hands anymore. But if they want a chance, they got to finish 10-2. And if they finish 10-2, then you have an argument to make. Should they be ranked over Notre Dame or not? Because they have that head to head, and they won against Notre Dame, and they'll have the same record. Now, I don't think the committee will, just because the strength of schedule that I guess not strength of schedule, but the quality of losses that Notre
Yeah.
Dame has. But the head to head, I feel like, should be more important in this case, because you make these arguments when you say, these two teams haven't played each other, right? They're from two different conferences. But this year they did play each other. And okay, it was at the beginning of the year, first game of the season, but it's got to count for something at least. If not, let's say you don't want to rank them for whatever reason ahead of Notre Dame, you rank them right behind Notre Dame, at least. They have identical records. Obviously, the way Miami lost their two games was not how Notre Dame lost their two games. But again, the head to head does have a lot of value, at least traditionally, according to the committee and what we've seen over the years. So I'm very interested to see how they'll continue with the rankings. I think that was a very interesting point of contention, how far Notre Dame is ahead of Miami because of that head to head. And I think Miami has a lot of negative press on them, deservedly so, right now, which is why they're ranked so low. But I'm sure if you were to take Miami versus Utah, the 13th ranked team right now, and you put them on a neutral field, I'm sure Vegas has Miami as the betting favorite, even though they're ranked below them. So
Yeah.
I'll
I
take
don't
that
know.
for what it is. Obviously, this will change, like Stephen B loves to say.
It's fluid. The list is
This is
fluid.
fluid. This
Every
is
week
fluid.
it's fluid.
So
Yeah.
I have hope for my Canes, and hopefully we can climb.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what goes on. Yeah. So that's gonna do it for the college football discussion. We'll get back to it next week when we have a new set of rankings from the committee. But now let's get into the NFL. The other day was the NFL trade deadline. We had a lot of crazy moves, unexpected moves. Shout out the New York Jets. Haha, they suck. They have a lot of picks now. One of the reasons for that is because of this guy. They sent Sauce Gardner to the Indianapolis Colts, who are looking for real right now, for 2 first-round picks and A.D. Mitchell, wide receiver, from the Colts to the Jets. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I think the Jets won this trade. That's my personal opinion. I'm not a big fan of Sauce. I think recently he's been playing kind of poorly. All he does is grab people. He's like top 10 in the league in pass interference calls. He's kind of fallen off a little bit after winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. 2022,
Can
2023.
you repeat what you just said?
Defensive Rookie of the Year. I apologize. Yes, defensive because Garrett Wilson won Offensive Rookie of the Year. The Jets drafted very well that year. They had the offensive and defensive Rookie of the Year. Now the defensive guy's gone. Now he's with the Colts. Um,
And the
I
guy
think
I would say is better too. I mean, even though Sauce, like you said, has been somewhat regressing comparatively to how he was playing earlier. Um, I still think that he was the better player out of the two, especially
really
compared
think
to
so.
compared to other positions in the league. Like you compare him to other cornerbacks in the league, he's
Yeah,
among the higher echelon compared to Garrett Wilson and other receivers in the league. You know what I
I
mean?
guess I'd rather
So
have Garrett Wilson though,
okay,
personally.
I
Personally, that's
I
just my
I,
personal
I disagree with
opinion.
that, but
Okay, yeah. Well,
but I
anyways,
think you're absolutely right. I think the Jets did win. Now, Sauce Gardner is good. Is he worth 2 first-round draft picks? Probably
no,
not.
no.
Even though they're late picks, probably not.
Yeah, and as well a wide receiver who he's not bad. He's not bad. He got benched because he fumbled that one time in the end zone again, during their loss to the Rams, their first loss of the season. They benched him. He hasn't really played much since, especially when Pittman and Pierce and Downs have been stepping up. But I think he can find a spot there with the Jets. They don't have too many good wide receivers besides Garrett Wilson, obviously. But yeah, I think the Jets won this trade. They got 2 first-round picks out of it, like we mentioned, and then also they just went full fire sale. They also traded their star defensive tackle Quinnen Williams, who's there in the background there behind Dak, to the Cowboys. So they got a first-round pick and a second-round pick, I believe, and Mozzie Smith, who was a former first-round pick by the Cowboys. He just did not pan out very well. So the Jets traded away 2 of their best defensive players, so not great, but in return they got 3 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and 2 players out of it. It's a pretty good return, I'm not gonna lie. Now, is the Jets front office going to do anything with those picks? No,
Probably
because
not.
it's the Jets. Like I mentioned, they did have that good draft a couple years ago. They had, like I said, they had Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and they also had Breece Hall. All 3 of those guys were in the same draft. But obviously you can tell that even still with all of that, they did not manage to turn that team into anything. So, I guess it doesn't really matter how many good players they draft. If they don't have a good quarterback or if they don't have good stability there, they're not going to be able to turn it into anything. But it's worth a shot. Maybe they can take some of those draft picks, package them, do whatever they need to do to get a quarterback that could help them in the future. Overall, they did lose 2 players who were probably fan favorites, but they got a lot of stuff in return for them. So those were 2 of I would say, the biggest trades of the deadline. So, Oscar, what do you think about this Quinnen Williams one specifically?
Not much. I mean, he got
Yeah,
traded to the Cowboys. The Cowboys aren't really looking like a threat this year, even comparatively to other Cowboys years. So that should speak for itself. I think he's a good player, obviously.
yeah,
And I think the Cowboys are I guess, trying to mediate and remedy their horrendous blunder at the beginning of the season.
yeah,
And so, yeah. Um,
yeah. Trying to
but
shore up
I
that
mean,
line.
it's no. I mean, you can't just trade away a player
Micah.
like
That's
Micah and then look to replace him. Right? That's not a non-replaceable player.
Yeah,
We'll call those.
that is true. That is very true. Yeah. So Cowboys, like you said, they're trying to get some better defensive players. They also traded for Logan Wilson, linebacker from Cincinnati. So they're trying to do some things to help up that defense, but might be a little bit too little too late here in this scenario. Um, so yeah, those are the two trade deadline things. I think the Jets got a lot of good resources out of those players, and we'll see. Another thing I want to touch on, I saw this today. So Quinnen Williams has a brother. His name's Quincy Williams, and he also played for the Jets. They both were starters on the Jets defense together. Pretty cool. They just traded Quinnen Williams, so now he's gone. And the Jets just announced that Quincy Williams has been benched because he hasn't been playing well apparently. So not a great week for Quincy. His brother leaves and he gets benched. Pretty bad. Also,
Poor guy.
doesn't have to do with the trade deadline specifically, but it is NFL news. Where is it? It's right here. The Arizona Cardinals have decided that because Jacoby Brissett has been playing so well, that they're going to bench Kyler Murray. Not only do they bench him, but apparently he has this mysterious foot injury that just got announced today, and they put him on IR. Basically, what this means is he's not playing for the Cardinals anymore. I think Kyler Murray's done with the Cardinals. Pretty abrupt end to his tenure there, I feel like. I don't really feel like I remember hearing too much about this from before. It was kind of just
really.
like he got hurt, and then they put in Jacoby Brissett, and now he's gone. Like it's kind of like Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. So we'll see what happens with Kyler Murray. Are they going to release him? Or are they going to trade him in the offseason? I don't know what his contract looks like. Maybe he's a free agent. I have no idea. But interested to see what happens with Kyler Murray.
I agree. No, I mean, I think essentially another one I kind of want to talk about. I mean, yeah, the Kyler Murray thing's a bit weird, especially with the foot injury out of nowhere. I think you're right. They might just be moving on from
Yeah.
Kyler. But we got to talk about the Eagles, man. The rich just get richer. Jalen Phillips and Jair Alexander right at the trade deadline. I mean, their defense was already good. Now they're looking scary.
Yeah.
As a Finns fan, it's sad to see him go.
True. Very true.
But I hope he goes and wins the Super Bowl now, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me pull this up right here. Not great quality for this one, but there you go. So yes, that was a good thing to bring up there. Like you mentioned, Jalen Phillips was traded to the Eagles for a third-round pick. He's on an expiring contract, so obviously I think he's worth more than a third-round pick. But because of the contract, I think it was good value. He is a very good player. Maybe he was just in a bad system or on a bad team, but I feel like he has been playing as well as he did in the past. So.
I mean, that 2023 season before he got hurt, he was
Very good.
Oh,
Very, very good. And then he got hurt. I think he tore his Achilles and then he tore his ACL afterwards. Like in a very short amount of time, he had both injuries. So definitely not ideal for him. Or I could be wrong, but he definitely had at least one of those injuries.
it was the Achilles. Yeah, he ruptured his Achilles.
Okay, yeah. So he is a very injury-prone player, even going back to college. But still very, very good. He has the Dolphins rookie record for most sacks in a season, if I'm not mistaken. So he did a lot for us. So like you said, very sad to see him go. But yeah, the Eagles, they always pull some things at the trade deadline. Howie Roseman is a very good GM. So we'll see how much he'll be able to help out their defense. He gets reunited with Vic Fangio, our former defensive coordinator, who's now the coordinator there in Philadelphia. And it's going to be weird seeing him in an Eagles jersey, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, and then there was a lot of chatter. The Dolphins were looking to trade Jalen Waddle, also Bradley Chubb. They didn't manage to do any of those deals because they wanted a first-round pick
Waddle was
for
listed
Waddle.
as a non-negotiable.
Well, they wanted a first-round pick for him, and no team was willing to give up that much compensation, so they just didn't pull the trigger. Do you think that was a good decision? Genuine question, because I don't really know what the markets are these days. Like, do you think that was a good decision, or do you think we should have traded him for
I
like
mean,
a second
Waddle
round?
definitely is a first-round caliber player.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when he's like on. Again, you got to remember he's been playing behind Tyreek for the past 2 or 3 years. But you look at how he was playing by himself before Tyreek got there. I think the numbers speak for themselves. Not just the numbers, but his efficiency and his usage. So like the yards after the catch he would get, he was averaging was I think among top 5 in the league. So Waddle's I think has become a very underrated receiver, and the fact that he's in this Miami system right now is not helping him out at all. So I think the only people that like really do know his value are the Dolphins, but because they're so bad and they want to ask for that first round pick, nobody's going to give it to them because Waddle just doesn't look like that good of a player anymore. And honestly, if I was another team, I probably wouldn't trade a first round pick for him. But I can see both sides of the coin. Like, I think Waddle is worth a first round pick, but if I was a different team, I'm not trying to give up a first round pick for a player I don't know is going to be that good again or not.
Yeah, that is a good point. And something else that huge news for us as Dolphins fans that I completely forgot to bring up because it happened so long ago that I just, forgot that this happened. We haven't filmed since. Yeah, they did all this without their general manager. They fired Chris Grier. So that happened like a week ago at this point, more than a week ago. But they did do that. I think it was a good decision. What did you think about it?
Honestly, I think it was just time for a change of pace. I think people were a little bit too
Yeah,
harsh on Greer. You got to
I
look
agree.
back and remember Greer did do a lot of big moves for us, and Greer was one of the main reasons we had that roster in 23. And when everything was working for us, I mean, we looked like a legit team, man. But again, a lot of injury-prone players. Maybe you can say it's the culture, but something wasn't working, especially can't come like December. I don't know if it's a Miami thing or late in the season you just can't execute.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think it was time for a change. But I am not too mad at his tenure here. He made a lot of big moves, but brought the Dolphins to some sort of national relevance.
yeah,
I saw the media talking about us a lot over the last 2 or 3 years. And I think in big parts of him, he was also the main reason we got Mike McDaniel, which is another controversial signing to say the least. Lots to talk about there. So I mean, his tenure was well lived. It was not short lived either. He had a lot of time in the limelight, and I think it was just time to go, man.
yeah. I agree. I was telling my dad this. This was kind of like my view on how this whole thing went down. So from my perspective, Chris Grier he's been with the Dolphins since 2000. That was the last time he won a playoff game was 2000. It's been 25 years. So it's kind of sad for him. It's very rare in this industry to be on a single team for that long, and now he's gone. Like it's pretty sad. Um, but yeah, so he started out as a scout, worked his way up to the GM, became the GM in 2016. He was not very good at the beginning. He did not make a lot of moves. And a lot of people wanted him fired. Before the 23 season when we played very, very well, before we got Tyreek Hill, before all that, people wanted him fired way back when, 2019, 2020, before Tua, all that. And he just wasn't very good. And I think, and this is just my opinion, I think what happened is he realized that he was on the hot seat way back then, and he said to himself, "No, like I want to make some moves. I want to go out swinging, basically." So what he did, and I commend him for it. It was a good effort. He went all in. He went and he drafted Tua. He signed Tyreek Hill. He signed Bradley Chubb. He signed Jalen Ramsey. And he did all of these great things for us and
And
made our
Fangio,
team,
he got Fangio,
yeah,
Vic Fangio too.
yeah, Fangio and McDaniel, like you mentioned. Um, he did all of these things, and all the Dolphins fans, including myself, were like, "Oh my God, Chris Grier, he woke up. He's actually so good. I hated him, and now I love him. He's the best GM in the league. We're gonna be so good." And he went so all in that it ended up being in the long run a little bit like he tried a little too much. He got all these great players, but how did he do it? He gave them ridiculous contracts that took all of the cap space off of our team so that when we were developing our other players in the background, like Christian Wilkins, like Andrew Van Ginkel, like Deshaun Elliott, and
Jalen Phillips,
and Jalen Phillips as well, that when it came time, well, not Jalen Phillips in this particular example, but with all those players,
Van Ginkel's a
Jerome
dog, bro.
Baker, when
Yeah,
it came time to pay them, we didn't have any money. So what they do,
and
they left.
Xavier
And
Howard before he retired too.
yeah, Xavier Howard was there as well. Van Ginkel left in free agency. Wilkins left in free agency. Deshaun Elliott, Jerome Baker, they all left. So he did such a good job bringing in all these elite players, but he went too much. He went so far in that he just distributed all of our money, used up all the cap space, so that what ended up being left with was like the Phoenix Suns. You have Bradley Beal and Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, and the rest are nobodies. And basically, we had nobody left on our team besides the big stars. We were too top heavy, and the rest of our team was bad. And so when that happened, now Tyreek Hill got injured. Now he wants to leave. Jalen Phillips left. They want to trade Jalen Waddle because our team sucks. Tua is not playing very well. And so now his efforts were very, very good for a very short amount of time. And he went a little bit too far in, got too far down in the hole. And now it's hard to bring ourselves back, and we're kind of stuck because we don't have a lot of good players, young players who are on small contracts. And that was it.
And the rest are nobodies.
And the rest are nobodies. Yes, sir. Shout out Flight.
Including Grier.
Including Grier, yeah. So that's my opinion on the Grier tenure. I thought he did an okay job overall. I give him a B minus. I give him a B. I'll give him a B because GMs before him didn't try this. At least he tried. He went a little too far, but he tried. He tried. So shout out to Chris Grier. Wish him well. But hopefully, my dad was like, "Oh, let's see who we're gonna sign next," and I was like, "Yeah, let's see what Nimrod we're gonna sign, who's gonna get fired in 3 years, because that's what happens with the Dolphins." But yeah, so we'll see what happens. Stephen Ross, our owner, he said that McDaniel's gonna stick around for the rest of the season, so he'll probably still get fired, but it'll at least wait until the season is over. But yeah, that's Chris Grier. All right, well now, unless you have anything else to add, let's get into NFL Week 9 recap. So, just a little heads up, a lot of upsets. The predictions, the records did not go so well. They went well for one person. We'll see who that person is. It did not go so well for me. I definitely did very bad. A lot of upsets. First off, Ravens Dolphins, huge upset, huge upset. Dolphins should have won. I'm sure they were favored by 20 points. Massive upset on Thursday Night Football. Yeah, we suck. So that was that. Titans actually played the Chargers pretty well, but they were able to come out of a win with a win there. Although they lost Joe Alt for the season, I believe, so that's a pretty big loss for the Chargers. Vikings Lions, pretty big upset. JJ McCarthy played well. Colts Steelers, also another upset. I'm just going through the upsets. Panthers Packers, Rico Dowdle, very good game. Crazy upset there.
Bears Bengals.
Well, I wouldn't call that an upset, but still crazy game. We'll get to that. What else? Cardinals Cowboys, also an upset. Not for you. That was your upset alert. Congratulations on the upset alert.
Thank you.
But yeah, a lot of upsets. Now going back through some of the games. What do I want? Well, yeah, I guess we'll start here. This was probably the craziest game of the year. 47-42, the Bears beat the Bengals. Joe Flacco, 40-year-old Joe Flacco threw for almost 500 yards. Very, very impressive stuff out of him. But it's the Bengals, so they're going to let 47 points. And I think they're one of the first teams in NFL history to, I think, score 40-plus points in back-to-back weeks and lose both of those games, or something like that. Some crazy stat like that. Very unfortunate. Oscar, would you like to describe the ending of the game?
Well, you see, I was working this Sunday.
Oh.
Water park shift. But I got to see the second half of this game, most of it, with 2 or 4 minutes left. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was 4 minutes left in the game. It might have been 2, though, if I'm remembering correctly. The Bengals were up 32 or 37-32, something like that, or 32-27. It might have been. It was with very little time left in the game. I'm like, oh well, the Bengals might win, the Bears might win, but like mid-30s, right? I go up on stand for an hour and a half, and when I get down from stand, my amazing shock and surprise to see the game ended 47-42. And I was like, what the hell happened in the last 4 minutes that I missed out on?
Yeah.
A whole nother football game is what happened.
Did you see what happened?
Yeah, I ended up seeing the highlights, but
Okay. Yeah. Crazy game. So
absurd.
The Bengals are up by a bunch, and then the Bears scored with very little time left on the clock. Or there was an okay amount. I think like what you said about 4 minutes. Uh, and then the Bengals got the ball, and what happened? They scored. No, sorry. Then the Bears got an onside kick, which is very rare. The Bears recovered an onside kick. Then they went and scored again. But then they left Joe Flacco too much time on the clock, so he drove down and scored again with like a minute left to take the lead. But then he left too much time on the clock back for the Bears, so then they scored. Colson Level on like a 50-yard touchdown with what 17 seconds left. That was ridiculous. Bro, they couldn't stop a runny nose, bro. Both defenses, it was terrible. But great for fantasy, I guess. If you had a lot of players in this game, I had T Higgins. Of course, he was on my bench, but still, I have T Higgins. If you want him, he's available in a trade. Just saying. But
No, I'm good, thank you though.
yeah, no problem. Yeah. So I mean, this was actually a ridiculous game. This was a good game too. The Falcons are making a little bit of a comeback there, but then of course their kicker missed the extra point to tie the game. So then the Patriots won by 1. So depressing because I picked the Falcons. So bad.
Well, I picked Patriots, so
I know.
this was
Yeah.
truly the biggest upset, in my opinion, of the week.
This was a surprise. Honestly, I'm not like incredibly
Actually, no, Panthers
surprised.
Packers is the biggest upset. But
Yeah, that was a big one too. I'm not incredibly surprised that the Steelers won. Definitely thought the Colts would win, but I'm not crazy surprised of the score. I'm just surprised about how dominant the Steelers defense was. They played out of their minds. I don't know. Are there turnovers here? Yeah.
Could you quickly
Look at this.
Could you quickly read out Jonathan Taylor's stat line? Mind
Yeah.
you, the leader for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, 14 carries for only 45 yards, and then he had 2 catches for 12 yards.
Thank you.
Pretty bad.
They executed their defensive game plan to a perfection. And they told Indiana, we'll let anybody beat us but Jonathan Taylor. And it worked.
Yeah, definitely worked. I mean, you can see, well, first of all, team stats, turnovers. They had 6 turnovers. They had 3 fumbles and 3 interceptions. Daniel Jones threw 3 interceptions, and he threw the ball 50 times because they were down by so much there. This honestly, the score does not show you how much of a disparity there was. Like the Steelers beat them by a lot. There was a couple of garbage time touchdowns in there for the Colts. But yeah, the Steelers.
Dingleberry Jones back at it again.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, I just the Steelers just played incredible. TJ Watt was great. Their linebacker, what's his name? But Herbug. What's his name? I don't want to get
think it is
Herbig. Nick Herbig. I think that's what I'm thinking of. He played very well. Yeah, I just overall, I guess you can see there's defense on here, right? Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, Peyton Wilson interception, Joey Porter Jr. interception. Who else? Jack Sawyer. Oh yeah, rookie Jack Sawyer. Shout out Ohio State. Herbig had 1 tackle. Oh, maybe this. Who am I thinking of? Highsmith. I apologize. Alex Highsmith. They both start with an H. I think it was Highsmith. But yeah, he had 2 sacks. I think he also had a strip sack. Anyways, crazy game. Steelers defense was incredible there. What else? This was a snooze fest. Did you watch the highlights? Don't. This was bad.
No, I was watching it in real time. The Texans were dominating, by the way, for most of that game.
Well, their defense was. Both offenses were terrible. And then CJ Stroud got this crazy concussion, so he didn't even play like almost the whole second half. Davis Mills kind of let them hang in there for a little bit, but at the end of the day, Bo Nix led them to the victory. That was just bad. This was, like you mentioned, the biggest upset, so I'll let you take this one away.
I mean, the Carolina's defense came to play, and like big time. The Packers just couldn't find any flow offensively. But if we're being very honest, the real reason they lost this game is because they wore those hideous, ugly, terrible jerseys.
They're not bad. You think they're bad?
I think this year's iteration of them are bad. I like the classic jerseys, honestly. I'm a big fan of them. But I think this year I don't know what it was, whether it was the helmets or like they did something to them this year where they looked so bad. Like they did not look good compared to
Really?
previous iterations. Um it kind of looked like Notre Dame colors, honestly. Like
Yeah.
like a bleached version of a Notre
I
Dame
I
uniform.
like the helmet though. Like it has that old leather helmet like
Yeah,
style.
I
Illinois did
agree,
that a
but
couple
they
of years
usually
ago.
do it better. This year it looks
Ah,
weird. Like it looks spray painted.
interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Well, so
The helmet is really cool though. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know. They just did something to the jerseys, like the whole fit in general. Where I looked at it this year and I was like, I don't like it. Something's off, and clearly something was off. They lost 16-3 to the Carolina Panthers, who are
yeah.
5-4. If
Yeah.
I told you, Colin, at the beginning of the year that the Carolina Panthers would be 5-4, you would be like, I would bet my entire fortune that they are not.
Yeah. They
That you
have the
lie.
same record as the Kansas City Chiefs. Let that sink in for a second.
There you go.
Rico Dowdle, though, is definitely the MVP of the Panthers team. I mean, this guy's insane. 130 yards on 25 carries. They're just giving him the ball every single time. And he had 2 touchdowns.
Why shouldn't
So,
they? Why shouldn't they?
yeah, exactly. They shouldn't. I mean,
I mean,
yeah, they
I
should.
just feel bad for all the Truba Hubbard owners out there.
Yeah, tough. Very
I
tough.
mean, you call. I think most people call him Truba, right? Truba Hubbard. I like to call him Chuba.
Shubba da
Chuba Hubbard.
bubba. Shubba
Yeah,
hubba.
Chuba Hubba.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Great game by Rico, for sure.
yeah.
Uh, this was the game of the week. I think the Buffalo Bills defense really showed out. They pressured Mahomes the entire game. I think this is Mahomes' first ever game, regular season or postseason, with a sub 50% completion percentage. If it's not the first time, it's definitely the second time, and it definitely is the lowest completion percentage that he's ever had. I remember that for sure. No touchdowns, 1 interception, and I mean, I'm a little bit of a Chiefs glazer, some might say, but they only lost by 7 points after all that. I think the Chiefs are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. We all know that the Chiefs would beat them in the playoffs. All right, and that's all that matters. So look, they've played 10 times. Mahomes has won 5 times, and Allen has won 5 times. 4 of the times that Mahomes won out of the 5, 4 out of the 5 Chiefs wins were in the playoffs. The other 6 games were all in the regular season, and Mahomes is 1-5. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. So we'll see come playoff time what goes on. But
We
for
will.
now, gotta give the Bills some credit. James Cook played very well. I think this is the first time the Chiefs allowed a 100-yard rusher this season. The tight ends for Buffalo played very well. Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. Oh, Dawson Knox had. I mean, he only had one catch.
I
But it
mean,
was
I
30
actually I
yards.
believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was Dalton Kincaid's first game back, and
Hmm.
he had a great game.
Yeah.
Clearly, we can see how effectively he's integrating into this offensive system. I really liked him during his rookie year. I believe 2 years ago. I was very high on him. I liked him a lot. I think he's very athletic for his size. And he's
Sure.
essentially a mega-sized receiver, which is what modern tight ends are. But him specifically, I like his athleticism a lot, and I think he still blocks decently, just enough to be a tight end in the NFL. But the offensive capabilities you have with him on the field, clearly, 101 yards and a touchdown on 6 receptions, are great. And him and Josh Allen were linking up very nicely in this game. They were in tune. And yeah, I can't wait to see what else is to come from him in the coming weeks. I've liked to see his development. Last year he was pretty injury riddled, so he didn't get to play a lot. But this year, hopefully, he'll have more games like this one.
Yeah. And Josh Allen had a very good game as well. He only had 3 incompletions, no interceptions, and threw for just under 300 yards. So great game out of him. Mahomes, like I said, not a very good game stats wise. However, best at NFL fantasy draft selection choice pick, Rashee Rice. Hey man, my team's having a little bit of a resurgence now. All right, so we'll see. We'll see. He's been playing very well. He only had 4 catches, but he had a lot of yards and he rushed for that 1 touchdown. So yeah, I'm just saying, should watch out. Watch out. Yeah, but in all seriousness, Bills, very good team, as we all know. But they're not going to go anywhere in the playoffs, as we also all know. So that's that.
I
Uh,
don't know about that, but
whoa. Come on now. History, man. Look at history. They can't win anything.
I still think you're probably right. The Chiefs would beat them in the playoffs, but don't say they won't do anything in the playoffs because
All right.
I think that's simply just not true.
All right, fine. We'll see. I just want to click on this game for 2 reasons. First of all, the Seahawks are ridiculously good, or the Commanders are ridiculously bad. It's one or the other. But
I think it's a little
wow, like it was ridiculous. Sam Darnold, I think at one point was 18 for 18 or something like that, 4 touchdowns. It was ridiculous. Jackson Smith and Jigba is on another planet right now. So the Seahawks are looking very, very good. Their coach, Mike McDonald, also, I think this is his 3rd season, and he's only lost a road game 1 time in 3 seasons. Very, very impressive. The other reason why I wanted to point out this game is for the more obvious reason, and that is because Jayden Daniels is, I'm assuming, for the whole season. He's definitely out for the whole season. Dislocated his elbow, really bad injury, at least visually on the from watching the game. So we'll see what happens with Jayden Daniels. Hopefully he'll get better for next year. But in the meantime, 2014 Heisman Trophy winner Marcus Mariota is going to be starting. So shout out to him. And then the Colts and the Cowboys, I unfortunately was not able to watch this game. However, I'm still surprised. We all know that the Cowboys defense sucks. However, I definitely thought that their offense was way better than this. I don't know what happened. I guess maybe are the Cardinals defense good? Did you watch the game? Because I don't know what happened here.
I watched part of it. I was at a Samurai actually Monday night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I was rearing my head out to the side whenever I could, try to get some sneak peeks into the game. But no, I mean, Cardinals defense was good. I wouldn't say they were great, like Carolina or Steelers, but their offense just played great football. Like they kept the ball a lot. They were efficient when they threw the ball. Marvin Harrison Jr. had one of those games, and I started him because I knew this would happen. I beat the brakes off of Mark. Again for the 2nd time this season already.
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens to the Cowboys. Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And then the Cowboys offense it looked mediocre. CD, 7 receptions for 85 yards. I mean, it's not horrible, but you do expect a little bit more out of him.
Yeah, definitely.
Wouldn't you say, Colin?
Oh, definitely. Yes. But at the end of the day, a dub is a dub, so we chilling. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Cowboys. I don't know who they're playing next week. We're about to find out, but yeah, maybe they'll get back on track, especially with the new additions of Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson, as aforementioned. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the NFL Week 9 recap. And so before we get into the Week 10 predictions, we're gonna look at our records, and someone here is gonna be very happy. So let's get to it. So looking at the predictions, obviously I had a very, very bad week. Definitely my worst week of the whole season. Losing records 6-8, not good. Oscar, on the other hand, just beat both of us by so much, 9-5. And now he's only 2 games back of me, 5 games back of Mark, and closing the gap there, Oscar. So how do you feel?
Hey, like I said 2 episodes ago, season's long. We got to come back little by little, and here we are. All right. Obviously, there's a weird start to the season. There's been a lot of parity this year in the league. A lot of teams that are good. Maybe not so many that are great, but a lot of that are good. And it's been enjoyable to watch and great football. So we got to learn and adapt. We got to change the metrics, change the formulas a bit. Download the new software and get the AI analyzing. And we adapt. But here we are, all right. And we hope to continue off of this wave and reclaim our number one spot, hopefully. So
Yeah, we'll see. Might happen a little sooner than you thought. But
what?
that's good.
Hey! None of this. All
What?
right.
What?
Like any good coach will tell you, we take it one game at a time. We're just looking to
Oh,
we're
okay.
just looking
All
to win
right.
next week. All right. We're just looking to win next
You're
week.
gonna go 1-0 next week.
Yeah, it's all about 1-0, baby.
All right. All right. Sounds good. Well, with that, let's get into our Week 10 predictions and let's see if Oscar can keep it rolling. Okay, so now getting into the Week 10 predictions, we kick it off with a Thursday night rivalry game in Denver, Colorado. The Raiders taking on the Broncos there. So, starting it off with myself.
Let's ride.
We're riding.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Broncos country.
Unlimited diarrhea. Unlimited diarrhea.
Yeah, I'm going with the Broncos. I think the Raiders are really bad, so we're just gonna keep.
Yeah, sadly, the Raiders don't apply to that statement I just made about there being a lot of good teams this year in the NFL.
Yeah.
And the Broncos are definitely good, fringe great. So give me the Broncos on this one too.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree. All right, next game. This is, I don't know where it is. It's in Europe
It's in
somewhere.
Berlin, my
Oh,
hometown.
Berlin. Shout out to Oscar. Falcons and the Colts playing there in Germany. So, who you got in this one?
Well, I don't know if you knew this or not, but technically, uh, one of, if not the team that the NFL markets in Germany is the Indianapolis Colts.
Huh,
Like
I did
they
not
are
know that.
the Germany team, like all things considered. So they should be a pretty easy game for the Colts. And for that reason, uh, they should have a majority. Usually, these international games in Germany, you have them pretty split. You'll have people wearing Brady jerseys or this, and that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Colts fans in Germany for some reason, for whatever reason, but there are. And the NFL has marketed the Colts over the last 4 or 5 years as like the Germany team. I think it's them and maybe maybe Detroit as well because of Amon-Ra and one other team maybe like Minnesota. But the Colts are like the Germany team. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the Colts.
Okay, cool. Got the Colts. Next two games, bit of a snooze fest here. We got the Browns and the Jets. I do not like picking this game. A little bit of a fun fact here. The Browns, uh, all time, the Browns are 15-14 against the Jets, so pretty,
Even.
even, yeah. Uh, and in their, actually, why is this not showing me everything? Oh, never mind. Forget what I was gonna say. Yeah, they're 15-14. So, oh, maybe it's this. Nope. Oh, yes. The last time they played was in 2023. Browns won, 37-20. And then before that, they lost the previous two. So it's yeah, like it's pretty even. I thought that might have helped me. It doesn't, but it's the Jets. So give me the Browns. Go Cleveland. I don't know who's gonna win.
I don't know why. I have an inkling that it's gonna be the Jets, but I'm not gonna pick them just
All right.
because, like you said, they're the Jets. I just can't trust them. But I have a feeling after this insane trade deadline, the Jets feel like they have something to prove, especially these players who are now gonna get chances uh, in this dumpster fire of a team.
Yes.
Madden generics, as some would say, are now going to get their starting chance. And they'll probably give the Browns a good game, but I'm still gonna pick the Browns.
Okay, yeah. And then the other game, Saints and the Panthers. We got an NFC South rivalry game in Carolina. Also, it was snooze fest. However, the Panthers been
Panthers are
playing
good
good
this year.
ball. They've been
Yeah,
playing good ball. I'm gonna go with
come on
them.
now.
I'm gonna go with
Give
them.
me, give me a sneaky Panthers like it's 2016. All right.
2015. But yes, I get what you're saying. Yeah, Panthers looking good. We'll see what happens. Patriots and the Buccaneers, two pretty good teams. Dueling out there in Florida. I'm going with Tampa. You know me. Give me Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, this game's in Tampa. Got to ride with our boy. Love the boy. Love the guy. All
Love,
right,
yeah,
he's doing
yeah.
it out here for the boys. So give me Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and also Ooga Booga is back. He's gonna terrorize this Patriots defense. Come on, now, baby.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Ravens Vikings. I'm going with the Ravens. I think they're on a little bit of a roll here. JJ McCarthy's still not super sold on him, even though that they beat the Lions. And we all know Lamar's record against the NFC. I think he's lost 2 games at all time. I think one of them was this year. So I'm going with Lamar and the Ravens here.
I am also going for Lamar. They just need to win more, and they've kind of gotten the ball rolling with a great warm up game against the Dolphins. So hopefully.
Yes. Yes. A great warm-up game against the Dolphins. That's a great way to put it there. Speaking of the Dolphins, Bills and the Dolphins in Miami. This is a very easy game. The Dolphins are going to win. This is very obvious. Trade deadline. We have a lot of things going on in our building. We traded away one of our players. The players are mad, man. Players are mad. They're a little hungry. Do the Bills beat the Dolphins every single time? Yes, of course they do. But that means that this time it's going to be a little different. This time the Dolphins are going to win. Tua is going to play great defense. I mean, what am I saying? Tua's going to play. I was thinking about the Bills defense because the Bills defense sucks. Tua's going to play great offense. And I think that the Bills are going to lose this game. So let's bring Oscar back in here. Hey,
All
Oscar.
right. Yeah, having some technical difficulties here today.
Yeah,
We
no
do
worries, no worries.
we do apologize.
I was just talking to the viewers here about this very easy game to pick between the Bills and the Dolphins. This is a very easy game. Everyone knows the Dolphins are going to win. So yeah, I'm picking the Dolphins. This is easy. Yeah. So go ahead. Pick the
Um,
Dolphins. Come on now, y'all know what's happening.
look,
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team.
I love
We
the
take the
Dolphins,
ball
and
from goal to goal.
I'll take the L on the sheet if I'm wrong. But this is a business decision. We have a goal to complete. A goal to be 1-0 this week. So I have to go with the Bills.
Bro, you're so annoying, man. You know the Dolphins are gonna win. Why don't you just pick them? Like, what? Well, snooze, you lose, eh?
I
Uh,
guess.
Giants and the Bears in Chicago. Sneaky game, sneaky game. Could I see Jackson Dart going into Soldier Field and getting it done? Of course I can. Do I think he's going to? Probably not. But sometimes you can't go with the obvious choice, right? Sometimes you got to go with the Giants. I'm still deciding. While I'm deciding, do you have a pick? Because you can go ahead in the meantime. Because I'm
Yeah,
still thinking
I
about
think
it.
I will. Because I don't know if
Okay.
you hear. Yeah, I don't know if you quite hear that in the distance.
Hmm. Hmm.
But it's gonna be a game, baby. All right, this is
Good.
gonna be a game. All right, the Bears, fresh off of their crazy win, over the Bengals. I mean, not that it was a crazy good, but just crazy, as the word crazy means. Um, but that does not matter because Jackson Dart and the New York Giants and them boys are gonna go in there and get a W. They need this one. All right. Last week, not so great for them. So they're gonna come in here
and they're gonna get business. All right, they're gonna get business done and handled, and they are going to come out with a W. I see a great game for Jackson Dart, and they're gonna do this one for Scatterboo. So noggin.
Nice, nice. I'm still decided. This is a really close game. I'm not gonna lie. I could totally see both teams winning here. The Bears. I'm going with the Bears.
The Bears.
We're going with the Bears. Yeah, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. All right. Next game. Jaguars versus the Texans. No CJ Stroud. Give me the Jaguars here.
Yeah, sadly, I have to agree with you. I would have loved to see this matchup between two quarterbacks in what you could say are hot seats. Um, Trevor Lawrence for the longest time touted as one of the greatest talents coming out of college, and has been honestly subpar so far in his NFL career. And now that he has a bit of a better team around him this year, let's see what he could do. And the Texans trying to rebound off of that pretty bad year they had, off of that sophomore slump from C.J. Stroud, but they haven't been looking too good. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Jaguars just because they have been playing better. They are in a bit of a better position, and I think the Texas defense will give them some trouble. But the Jags are probably gonna have the overall quality to pull through with a W in this game.
Yep, that is a great pick right there. Next game, going into the 4 o'clock window, we got the Cardinals and we got the Seahawks. Divisional game, both teams on the up and up, but I'm gonna go with Seattle. I like what the boys are doing up there.
Yeah, Seattle's just looked pretty dominant so far this year. Not much you can say about other than that about Seattle. And as much as I like the Cardinals, I mean they were my upset alert last week. And I think they'll be great this year, and they have been so far. I mean, not great, but they've been better than the usual Cardinals. Um, I'm gonna have to go with the Seahawks just because they've just looked so dominant. So.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Lions Commanders, no Jaden Daniels. Easy decision. Give me the
Yeah,
Lions. They're
let's
gonna
keep
get
it
their get
moving.
back.
That's
Keep,
lines. If you know ball, you know ball. All right, come
yeah,
on now.
absolutely.
No analysis needed here.
Definitely. Rams and the 49ers, interesting game, NFC West rivalry. The 49ers won the first matchup in LA. Towards the end, it was a great game to watch. So hopefully it'll be another repeat of very entertaining game. I'm gonna go on the flip side here. I picked the Rams the first time they lost. I'm gonna stick with them. I'm still gonna go with the Rams. I think they're gonna split the season series. I just think they're too good, and I can't see them losing
And
twice.
I agree with you. The Rams just have been looking so good. This season so far. They look very balanced. I think that's the proper word to use for the Rams. I had questions about their defense. They proved me pretty wrong early on in the season. Their defense has been looking passable so far. I wouldn't say great. We've seen some pretty good defenses this year, but they're up there. Definitely top 7 or so. So, I like their defense, even though I thought they weren't going to do much. And the Niners is actually the opposite. Uh, I don't know how they're playing good, but they are.
Yeah, a lot of injuries.
And I think they'll probably be favorites in this game, actually. I don't know what the odds are. Again, we do not promote betting on this channel. But
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to go with the Rams just because I like what I've seen out of them, and they're probably gonna want to split the series, so that there'll be a lot of emphasis on making sure they get the W this week in practice. And the Niners, I'm sure they would like to sweep, but
Yeah,
I think the Rams just want it more, man. The Rams just want it more.
I agree. And we'll see on Sunday evening. And then Sunday Night Football in LA in SoFi Stadium. Aaron Rodgers coming to town to take on Justin Herbo. Give me the Steelers in this one. Give me the Steelers. I like how they've been playing. Their defense looks like it's back. Aaron Rodgers on prime time. I think the Steelers are going to pull this one out.
And using logic, you would be right, Colin Firsley, but you're forgetting one very important thing.
Ooh, what is
We're
that?
talking about
Maybe it'll
the
change my mind.
Pittsburgh. We are talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers here. And now, what would be more Steelers than to go and win against arguably the hottest and the best team in the NFL right now in the Indianapolis Colts, and then go lose to the Los Angeles Chargers, who objectively, I'm not saying they're bad, but are a worse team than the Colts so far this year, even though the Chargers have been good. And the Chargers are known for chargering. What would be more Steelers like than to lose to the Chargers on Sunday Night Football the week
I
after, putting
agree.
up a dominant performance on defense? Give me the Chargers. The Steelers are just too random, and they always find a way to get into the playoffs at 9-8 or at 10-7, and this year is no different.
That is true. That is a good point. You make a good point there. I just want to say though, it's very possible that the Colts are frauds. Do I think they are? No, but I'm not super sold on Daniel Jones. At the end of the day, it's Daniel
Oh,
Jones.
I'm not sold on Daniel Jones, but I'm sold on the rest of the team.
All right, well, we'll see what happens with the Colts. They might lose a couple games coming up here. Hopefully not this week, but maybe a couple
They're
games. And,
definitely I would like to say that they're definitely not going to lose this week, but yeah,
well,
I think you're right. They might lose a couple going forward, but
well,
I
here's
like
my
them a
question
lot.
for you. Here's my question for you though. Who the heck is gonna stop T.J. Watt from sacking Justin Herbert? They have nobody. Name one person on their offensive line.
Here's
Just name
the
one.
here's the thing. They don't run the ball. So if Herbert can get the ball out of his hands before TJ
That's
Watt,
worse. If they can't run the ball, that's worse for them because they're just gonna pass rush every single play. They're gonna stack them a million times.
I agree, but hey, the Tom Brady special, just dump it out in the flat. All right.
To
You,
who?
you see this man? They have 5 receivers pretty much lined up at all times.
In the flat? All right, fine. I think
Watch.
if you
I
if you
I'm not
have
I'm look, I'm not here to tell you the game cast, the
okay.
game analytics, the game trends of how, the Chargers offensive scheme is going to match up against the Pittsburgh defensive scheme because frankly, I haven't watched enough of both of these two teams to be able to tell you that.
Mhm.
But I just know that you cannot trust the Steelers. It's just simply how it is. You can trust them to get to
Okay.
the playoffs, but in the same manner that they do every year. And in the same
That's
manner
true.
that they play the regular season every year. And with the Chargers being on a positive trend this year, I just see them winning this game somehow.
All right. Well, we'll see. That'll be a fun one to watch. And then last but not least, Monday Night Football, maybe one of the more anticipated matchups of the week. We have the Philadelphia Eagles going into Green Bay, Wisconsin to take on the Packers. Personally, do I think I know who's going to win? No. I'm just going off of vibes. And the vibes are that the Eagles are going to win. Fly, Eagles, fly.
And
There
you
we
know
go.
what? I will agree with you here simply because last year this matchup took place in Brazil, and
Hmm.
the Eagles played good. They played
Yeah,
good.
they did play
It
good.
was a statement game for Saquon. The Packers played very good that game too, and I think the Packers would like to get their oomph back, but the Eagles, having just gotten better and still looking like arguably the team to beat in the NFL. I know you don't really have them ranked in your top five, Stephen B, but I think they're still the team to beat, besides maybe the Bills in the NFL. Um,
Yeah,
I have to go with the Eagles.
you
The
just got to do it.
Packers, I think they'll be very good come playoff time, but they're still kind of piecing it all together. And I
Okay.
think this is going to be one of those games that they look back on right before the playoffs start and they go, we need to fix this. We need to adjust this. We need to tweak things that were exposed in this game versus a very good team. And if we can fix that, we'll be good in the playoffs. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. So for that to happen, they'll need to lose this game. Give me the Eagles.
That's true. That's true. I do want to say, last thing though, on the topic of Stephen B. My list has definitely changed, all right? Because look at this. We got the Seahawks. They probably move up a little bit. Tampa, they had a bye week, whatever. The Colts lost, and my number one team also lost. So this list is a little
Well,
outdated.
I told you when
Well,
you said it. I did not like your number one team at number
well,
one.
neither did I. Neither did I. I didn't like my number one team either. I just thought that there wasn't really a number one team. And honestly, I still don't think there's a number one team. My number one team is number one relative to the rest of the league. I don't think, like, if this was last year, these lines would not even be ranked. I just had them number one because everyone else is mid. I don't trust the Colts. I don't like the Rams have a couple losses. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So that's all I wanted to say about that. Yes, the list has definitely changed. If you ask me right now who number one is, I have no clue. I couldn't tell you who my number one team is right now. I gotta look, I gotta feel, I gotta
I'd probably have to say the
fluidicize it.
Bills just because they beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, but
And
if you want to look at it like that, like the Chiefs, the Chiefs, like,
again,
look, we all know.
don't do what the playoff committee does.
Yes,
We're
exactly.
not projecting.
Exactly. So if we're not projecting, why are the Bills there?
Because they just beat the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are not a good team if we're not projecting.
You know they're a good team.
Yeah, there you go. He's projecting. Look at this guy projecting.
I'm not
He's
projecting.
projecting.
I'm not
He's
projecting.
projecting.
Look at their
Yes, you
look at their
are.
No, I'm not. They're a good team, and there's a reason they're betting favorites in most of these matchups. The fact that they've lost is because there's something that's not meshing well right now, but that doesn't take away from the fact that they're a good team week in and week out.
Hey man, they lost to the Jaguars. All right.
The Jaguars got the number 2 pick in the draft, man. I don't know what
They
you're
lost to
talking
the
about.
Chargers too.
Two-way superstar.
Look, all I gotta say is the Chiefs. Look, if we're looking at it in a vacuum, the Chiefs are not good. I'm just saying, they're not good. If we're looking at it in a straight regular season, current here and now,
But we
nothing
live on
else.
Earth.
Exactly. So you gotta project a little bit, man. Gotta project a
Uh-huh.
little bit. Look, there's different types of lists you can do. You can do like best team right now at this very moment, which is what my Stephen B's list is. Or you can do who are the best teams in the league that you know are going to be successful going down the line.
Well,
And if that were the case,
either way, your list didn't have the Eagles either.
well,
Bills
the
or the
Eagles,
Eagles.
did you see the Eagles play the last couple weeks? They're booty. It's true. It's true.
Look at their record.
Well, their record is because they have a good structure there. Jalen Hurts played horrible. Saquon Barkley, who I think is probably the best running back in the league, played horrible. They just have a good structure that even when they're playing bad, objectively they're playing bad, they still find ways to pull out a win. Does that mean I think
Which,
they're a
in my
top five
opinion,
team?
if you're
No.
able to do that, that should merit you as being a top 5 team at least. If you're able
But
to
it's like
win
it's an eye
even on the
testing though as
days that
well.
you play bad.
But it's also like if you look at the Eagles in a vacuum, they're not good. Like you wouldn't think that they're good, but
No,
you
I
know
think
they
that's
have.
the opposite. I think if you look at the Eagles in a vacuum, they're very good.
I no, I okay. I just disagree. There's different lists you can have. Like I said, there's like the here and now. There's the projecting a little bit, like what you think they're going to do in the future. My list is based off of now. If it were based off the future, yeah, the Chiefs would be on there. The Bills would be on there. The Ravens honestly might even be like sneaking in there, top seven maybe. Eagles are on there. Like yeah, the usual teams are going to be on there. Just trying to spice it up a little bit, man. You got to have a little fluidity in your life with Stephen B.
Hey,
The list is
the
fluid.
list is fluid.
Absolutely. So, hey man,
All
that's
right,
that.
hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. I respect the hustle, man.
Absolutely. There you go. There you go. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode of the Get It Right Saturday Night podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. One last thing, shout again to my boy Miguel Rojas. I love you, bro. My favorite player. You solidified that. Yes, sir. Yeah, shout out to Dodgers World Series. Chris Grier, he's gone. We'll see what happens with the Dolphins next. They're definitely going to beat the Bills this week. That's just a gimme. Mark that down. Bet on it. Put in your parlay, whatever. Don't do that. We don't condone betting, as you said earlier. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the playoff committee. And we'll see what happens in fantasy. We'll see what happens with our predictions. Can Oscar get back on the upset alert board, the train? We'll see what goes on. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much
Peace
for
and
watching.
love.
Take
See you
care of
guys.
yourself. Take care of each other. And shout out to Mark at the basketball game. Peace.